So I'm here with Nick Massey from Proper Insurance to answer some of the most pressing questions owners and managers have about short-term rental insurance. Nick, let's kick off with this one. Many owners believe their regular homeowners policies will cover short-term rentals. I know I did. So what are these policies missing for a home that's going to be rented out in this market?
The biggest thing about your regular homeowners policies is that they're just that. They're for your primary home. And so when we start doing short-term rentals at our second residence, for topic of this question, it's no longer your primary residence. And the definitions in the policy say it has to be your residence premises. So you could be completely voiding your entire insurance contract by trying to maintain and run with a regular homeowner's insurance policy. So it's so important to have those conversations and make sure you have the right coverage in place and you're explicit that it's not your primary home. That is a second home that you generate revenue from.
That is a great answer, and I think that's one that everybody needs to take note of. I know from experience, I've had this experience, I know from experience that you get what you pay for in an insurance policy. And I will shout this from the rooftops. Fortunately, we had a great policy when our company was sued in a slip and fall accident, and this is something that could happen to anybody. Can you share why someone who rents out their property in the short term should think about paying more for special features and coverage instead of going for the cheaper options?
Insurance is an equation of risk transfer. So premium is inherently calculated based on how much risk you transfer to the carrier. So the cheaper the policy, the more risk you take on yourself versus the amount of risk that the insurance carrier has. When we move away from a primary home, primary homes are low risk because when water starts leaking out of the kitchen sink, you are there to turn the water off. When the toilet malfunctions, you are there to fix the toilet. When the heat goes out, you are there to call the technician right away. Rental properties are higher risk, so they're generally going to come with a higher premium. And then the more premium comes with more bells and whistles. So now it's a conversation of what type of amenities do I offer? What type of additional protections do I desire? Or maybe I didn't even know I needed, but now I do through conversation. And every time you add more coverage components, you're going to end up with a more expensive premium because you're transferring more risk onto that insurance carrier. So it is important to not look at this as I want to pay the cheapest premium, because then you're putting more risk on your own bank account, on yourself to take care of, versus transferring that off to an insurance carrier. And some of these risks can result in massive financial problems, much like you had with the slip and fall claim. Unfortunately, you had really good insurance. But if you were left out to deal with that yourself, you're really going to be wishing you paid a little bit more for insurance to protect your investment.
I'm shouting this one from the rooftops. Nickel and diming does not work in insurance. So the third question is, if something, and really follows on for that, if something catastrophic happens to the property that makes it uninhabitable and you have to cancel rentals, this could be a really hard nut to swallow if the owner doesn't have the right insurance. Can you explain the difference between loss of rents cover and loss of business revenue?
Yeah, so loss of rents and loss of business income, although conceptually, are vastly different in the insurance world. And this, again, goes back to how much risk are you going to transfer onto the insurance company. So loss of rents is designed and written primarily for long-term rentals that have an average rental market in your area, your zip code, your state, your province, wherever. Loss of rents pays at a fair market value capped at 12 months. So for long-term rentals, maybe that fair market value is $2,000 a month. Your home gets shut down, they're paying you that average rent. Loss of business income is solely based on you, the business operator, in your business. My short-term rental operates at X. Your short-term rental operates at Y. We both have the same claim and the same loss. I get paid X, you get paid Y. We're not getting paid a fair market average. So lost business income is a superior coverage. You will pay more for that, but it's going to pay you dollar for dollar based on what your business is generating, not what the fair market average is, like the loss of rents would pay out on the insurance forms.
That's really useful information, and I think that will be helpful to a lot of people. So, in this competitive world, owners and managers are thinking about adding more features and amenities to make their properties stand out. So, can you explain how your insurance covers things like bikes and boats and hot tubs and all these bells and whistles, not just at the rental property, but also if used elsewhere?
Yeah, so specific to proper insurance, that was one of the foundations of building our policy, is the understanding that every property is uniquely different and all have different amenity offerings to attract guests to your home. And one of the biggest pitfalls in the retail insurance market is massive limitations on liability around these different amenities. Animal and pet liability. It is heavily restricted and limited across the insurance world. However, it is in the top 5 of claims paid. Dog bites in the United States at almost $1 billion a year in liability paid out by insurance. We do not have a limit on that. Amenities like bicycles, these go off the property line, so it's important for us to make sure our coverage extends beyond the property line to keep you, the owner, protected. Canoes, kayaks, spa equipment come with their own risks, primarily around communicable disease, Legionnaire's disease, hot tub folliculitis, things like that. So our policy and our liability is built around these amenities to provide that additional layer and level of protection. So if the one-off scenario happens and you get named in a lawsuit for the use of those amenities, we are providing up to the liability limit of protection plus legal defense. And again, this comes down to you're transferring more risk, so you're getting more coverage and you're paying more in premium, but you're covering all your bases. Even if you don't have the amenity now, that coverage is already built into our product. And midway through the term, you add a hot tub, you're covered. It's already there. And you're not paying additional premium for it because we've already had those considerations built into the product.
That's a great response. Thank you so much. So I read recently about a homeowner who paid over $8,000 to get rid of bed bugs and replace furniture. And they lost a lot of rental income while the home was being treated. Why should owners of short-term vacation rentals think about adding specific coverage for bed bugs and fleas, and what specific problems does this cover?
So one thing to understand about insurance is that it can't cover everything. And infestations is excluded across the board in the insurance world. But we had a story come to us through another group that we worked with years ago about a single mother who had to shut down her property due to bed bug infestation. And this is what led us to be the pioneers of bed bug and flea coverage in the insurance world. This was back in 2017. So it's important to have because people travel all over the world. You have people coming from all different walks of life, and they bring bed bugs. It happens. So we built this coverage in on our product. What it does and does not cover needs to be understood. It covers liability for bed bug bites, medical payments, that type of stuff. It covers the mitigation expense, the cost of the exterminator. And it covers lost business income to a set limit. It does not cover or pay to replace damaged linens or damaged furniture. So there is a trade-off of exposure because a lot of times, and we're not the only carrier with this type of coverage, but you pay very little premium for the protection. So our coverage is $15,000 limit. It's very inexpensive on the policy. It has a $0 deductible. Should you have a verified bedbug infestation, our claims team will be quick to respond to get you reimbursed. But if you got to buy new linens, you got to buy new linens. It's just not something that insurance is going to protect.
I keep hearing these stories about bed bugs, and it would be wonderful to have that cover in place. So finally, talking really as a recovering property manager myself, as property managers, we always knew it was vital that homeowners carried the best insurance. So what benefits do property managers get when they get their clients to choose proper insurance for their short-term rentals?
The biggest benefit to the property manager of having proper insurance as a top-tier referral for their property owners is ease of use. Your clients are going to be treated and handled well. They're going to get a top-tier education and consultation on the phone. And they're going to be procuring the best insurance available on the market. Now, specifically to benefits to you and the why that makes us different, Number one is every property manager is listed as additional insured on our policy. And that means when an accident or incident happens at the property, we are not just defending and treating or covering the liability for the owner, but also you, the manager. So you're not trying to claim that against your manager's insurance. We also have special benefits around marketing. We have a map on our website. Our website gets hundreds of thousands of visits annually. It's great back-end SEO. We'd love to have you on that map. We get clients all the time asking for property manager referrals. We break it down state by state and county by county on where you can help provide your services to our clients who are looking for a property manager. So we want to have that mutually beneficial relationship. Last and certainly not least is our custom, one-of-a-kind, trademark, copywritten, can't get it anywhere else endorsement for property managers, and that is that we protect your lost business commissions if a property is damaged and the business income claim is paid out. We will cut two checks. We will cut a check to the property owner, and we will cut a check to you for your commission percentage of that lost business income.
Wow, wish I'd had that. But that is great, Nick. I think that is terrific information for hosts and for property managers, and for anybody who is thinking about insurance. Then you definitely need to get in touch with Nick, Proper Insurance, and get that personal consultation underway. Thanks so much for joining me.